All right. Good morning, everybody. This is Mitchell Peak. Welcome to day one of the Loan Officer Playbook. This is day one of our 2-day event. We're going to get kicked off here this morning with my good friend Laura Brandao. So let me bring her on in. Good morning, Laura.
Good morning, Mitch. So excited to be here. Hope you're doing great.
Oh, I am doing wonderful. I'm excited, for this event. And I think this might be the way I do them in the future. Maybe 2-day, a little less time each day because it makes it a little easier for people to tune in, I think. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to give it a try this way and see how it goes. So welcome to the show. And I know you're going to be, talking about setting up your day for success and what that looks like. And, I think that's a great way to start off because you can have all these great ideas and you can have all this knowledge, but if you go into your day hectic and have no plan of action, you're probably not going to be very successful.
It's fascinating to me, Mitch, that whenever I work with whether it's originators or whether it's on the operations side or whether it's in the executive space, I find that knowing where to start, having a plan and being intentional is the most important thing. Because if you're not really sure, well, what do I do first? Well, you know what happens? You just become reactive. You're literally sitting there waiting for your phone to ring. You're waiting for the text message to happen. You're waiting for someone to need you of, oh my goodness, there's a problem. Oh my goodness, this is on fire. And we become accustomed in the mortgage industry to just kind of fly around waiting for problems. Well, if we do that, we're not intentional about growing our businesses, or we're not intentional about making certain things happen. And if we could just change that component, everything changes.
Absolutely.
Every single thing changes. But we really haven't been taught. Most of us, we kind of got thrown into the mortgage industry and we kind of just became firefighters, right? Okay, there's the fire. I'm going to go and put the fire out. And we became valuable because we're really good problem solvers. And that's wonderful. We all have to be problem solvers. But being a problem solver makes us too reactional. We just float around trying to solve. And that is something that won't allow us to get to that next level. So that's where we're going to focus in today.
Yeah, I love it. I knew a real estate agent, Kelly Kilmer, out of Oklahoma, and she said that planning her day is the only thing that's made her successful.
It really
Because the
is.
same thing is you're just putting out fires all day long and you have no plan. You have, like you said, you're being reactionary. You're not being proactive and
Right.
going to get things done. So
Yeah, and the thing is that we don't realize that the actions and the things that we're doing today, it might not show instant success. It may not actually, the blossoms don't come. But if you go a year in the future, you go 2 years in the future, you look back and you realize the things that were happening is not from that moment. It's actually
right.
from the stuff that you started doing back there.
Yep.
So you have to do a combination of, yes, you're running your business. Yes, you're working with exactly who you're working with today, but you have to keep adding more for the future. Otherwise, you just kind of stay in the same spot, or you
Yeah.
even go backwards because God forbid you lose a referral partner, or God forbid something happens or changes in your business. You're going to go backwards, and you don't want that to occur.
Right. And with, like today, I mean, it's November 12th, so anything you guys are watching today and learning, you're going to put into action today, but it's not going to take effect or show any progress probably till quarter 1 of next year. So that's why it's important. Now's the time when a lot of loan officers kind of start taking it easy, coasting through the end of the season, because the holidays and it's winter and no one's going to move and, all the excuses. Well, now's the time to take, what Laura and what everybody else is going to be telling you today and tomorrow, put it in action. And then quarter 1, you're going to see a good increase in business.
That's exactly right. And it all ties into being intentional. You have to be intentional in what that is. To your point, take a little something from each of the experts that are going to share, right? It may not be everything, maybe not everything resonates with you, but really, really tune into the things that hit you to where you're like, I'm going to add that to my routine. I'm going to try that. I'm going to start doing that, and be intentional and consistent. Those are the most important things, whatever it is that hits you.
Right. Awesome. Well, I'm going to get out of your way, give you the stage,
Awesome.
and let you go.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, everyone. Good morning. And I'm so happy to be here with you. And of course, a great thank you and shout out for Mitch for creating this incredible event. First off, I want to introduce myself. I am Laura Brandao. I'm a longtime mortgage executive. But please allow me to give you a rundown of a few things that I'm working on right now. Yes, I am the CEO of Lighthouse Advisors, a national consulting firm with over 30 team members. I'm also the CEO of SYE Insurance Services, a national insurance company. I'm a shareholder of Clear Closer, an AI private lending technology. I'm on the board of Harbor Friday, an AI company. I'm on the New Jersey MBA board and the chair of the Women's Committee. I'm on the NAM DE&I committee. I'm the chair of Women with Vision. I'm the chair of NAMBA Visionary Program. I'm a shareholder of a national mortgage company and the facilitator of AIM's Women's Mortgage Network. And in 30 days, I'm launching another technology to the industry. Now, the purpose of me mentioning that is to share with you that there is no way possible for one person to lead that many things unless I have figured out a way of how to master my day efficiently and effectively. So today, we're going to be speaking about setting up your day for success and the power of purposeful activities and daily reflection. I want to share some insights that have helped me not only increase productivity, but to also find a deeper sense of purpose in every single day. Now, we've all heard about time management and productivity tips, but today I want to take it a step further. I want to speak to you about how you can set up your day for success by tying everything you do into purposeful activities and then reflecting on your progress, not weekly, not yearly, not monthly, but every single day. Now, I know so many of us, we feel like sometimes we get to the end of the day, we look back and we wonder, where in the heck did the time go? I started with the best intention, but it got away from me. Mitch and I were just speaking about how we're all problem solvers in the mortgage industry. We're all firefighters, right? Waiting almost, I want you to take a moment and just admit something with me. Okay? How many of us in our industry, in our day-to-day, actually look at, oh, I feel really important when I get that problem phone call, when I get that text message that needs my help, or I have to figure out how to structure something or really use my skills. Now, at the moment, you may say to yourself, oh my goodness, I can't stand the fact that I get these calls during dinner or I'm getting these calls on the weekend. But if you really, really take a moment to reflect on yourself, I'm going to tell you that you probably get a little shot of, ooh, look at how good I am. I know how to maneuver that. I've seen this problem before. I feel important because someone is coming to me asking for my help, my expertise. And we once again get that jolt of dopamine when we think about that I was able to solve that. I was able to know who to call or who to message to be able to get help. But the problem is that we're getting that shot of dopamine, thinking that we're problem solving all the time. But what it's doing is it's not creating a routine. It's not allowing us to make that investment into the future of what we all want to be. Now, what we're doing at this moment, this is fantastic and this is wonderful. But you can do more. I know you can do more. And I know that you can take this base foundation of what you're currently doing, whatever role you're in, if you're an originator, if you're a branch manager, if you're a broker owner, if you're on the operational side or the executive side, I promise you, you can go even deeper. Now, like I started saying, we've all had those days where we turn around and we say to ourselves, where the heck did the time go? I worked on one problem the entire day. And we understand. But you have to have intentional strategies because you allow yourself the time to be problem solving. And those outer fringes is where you do your intentional building. We want you to where you're ending your day looking fulfilled and successful, regardless of what those goals are professionally and personally. Today, we're going to break down how to set up your day in a way that ties everything to those specific activities that aligns to your goals and how you can rate your performance at the end of the day to create a cycle of continuous improvement and fulfillment. So let's start with intentionality. How often do we go into our day without a plan or a focus? Maybe we have, a little note that has a to-do list of something that we want to accomplish, but it often feels like we're reacting to everything that comes our way. This is the first step in setting up your day to success. It's being intentional about those actions. I love the play Hamilton. And there's a song in that play that says, I feel like I'm running out of time. This is how I look at my day. I am not going to miss any opportunity, not even one moment in time, because each moment in time is one step closer to achieving every single thing that I have ever dreamed of in my professional or personal life. Remember that this moment right now, it's not coming back. We have to be intentional in our efforts in order to move forward. So the first thing I'm going to say is if you don't have a scheduling link, some way for everyone to be able to book on your calendar, first step, do it today. Now, once you get that scheduling link, you need to have it everywhere. Your past clients, your current clients, your prospective clients, your family events, your school events for your children. Every single thing that you do has to be on a calendar. And if you have multiple calendars, for some reason, maybe you're working in multiple businesses or multiple efforts, maybe you have a family one and you have a work one, then tie it to one centralized location, somewhere where everything comes together. It needs to be on your social media. It needs to be in your email signature. It needs to be in your videos. Every single place has to show your scheduling link. You need to live and die by that scheduling link. No variations. And make sure it fits every single thing of if you want to start taking your meetings at 8 o'clock in the morning, 7:30 in the morning, or 11 o'clock in the morning, whatever the time is, that is your calendar so that you know every single day, this is what I have. You want to go take off on Fridays in the afternoon because you want to take your kids to the park every week? Fabulous. Every Friday, you're blocked off in the afternoon because that is children park time. That is how you schedule yourself, and you have to stay true to that. Now, the next thing is setting clear and defined goals. Every day, you need to start with a clear understanding of what you want to achieve. And this begins the night before. You cannot wake up and then create a plan at 5 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning. You have to immediately know, I'm getting up at this time. I know what my schedule looks like, and I am going to be intentional about knowing what I need to do. Okay? Now, this is where that intentionality comes in. It's about building momentum. What that means is avoiding distractions. So that if you are going to make sales calls in the morning, you need to have your list fully prepared along with your script and anything else that you need in order to not lose concentration. Because I want to give you an example. Let's say you decide that every Monday you're going to reach out to realtors, for example. You can't wake up and say, okay, for the next 3 hours, I'm going to make some calls. But you don't know who the calls are to. You don't have an email list. You don't know anything about the realtors you're trying to reach out to. You don't have your scripting or your plan or your process of what you're going to say to them. So the work doesn't begin on Monday when you're going to make those calls. The work begins before Monday morning, whether that's done Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, whatever your scheduling is. The biggest thing is to not get a distraction. Because let's replay this, right? Let's say that Mondays I'm reaching out to try to make some connections for some realtor partners. If I don't have all of those things already sought out, this is how it's going to play out. Oh, I'm going to look up realtors in such and such areas. Okay, I met someone. Now, let me go and look them up on Instagram. Let me go and look them up on Facebook. Let me see what they enjoy doing so that I have something in common to reach out to them about to start a conversation. Absolutely not. What you need to do is before you ever reach out, whether it's a call or an email or a text or an Instagram message or whatever way you're communicating, all of that work had to have been done before that moment. Because if you don't have that already planned out, you're going to get completely distracted. You go on Instagram and you're looking it up and you go, oh, this person has 2 French bulldogs. I have something in common with this person. I can reach out. Now you're scrolling. Now you're looking. You're like, oh, they also like, they like to bake chocolate cakes. Oh, let me keep scrolling. The moral of this story is you're going to get totally engulfed in scrolling, in looking. Your brain is now processing this information. You've completely blown 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You're completely distracted. You no longer have a plan. And instead of reaching out to 50 people, you've probably reached out to 4, 5 people. So the very first step is doing your homework ahead of time. So it's not just having your plan, it's being prepared for that plan and not allowing yourself to go to multiple sources. If you've ever worked in operations, if you've ever been a processor or an underwriter, that's why you always want to be able to focus on that file. Because if you don't focus when you're working on that and all of a sudden you're getting distracted, it'll probably take you hours to get through one simple task. But if you focus and you're able to get through it, maybe you're done with that task in a shorter amount of time. So first up, do your homework, do your prep, not eliminate the distractions, and don't allow yourself to start scrolling or looking at other things. You have to be prepared first. Now, I also want to say, I recently spoke at an event, and one of the presentations, they had us break down our values and our priorities and how we need to tie these into every single day. Yes, it's right. We don't realize what's important to us or how we're ever going to tie that into our progress if we don't do that. Now, I'm going to even share with you myself. My day, my personal story is my day. It starts at 4 a.m. every single day. But my schedule is made way before that. So when I do that, I start my day the same process every single day. First up, my numbers. What do my stats look like for my business and all of my clients' business? What do their pipelines look like? What came in? What went out? What locks are expiring? What are the priorities? What blow-ups happened yesterday that we need to modify and we need to fix? Because if we don't do those things, we are not going to be able to make progress. Then I go into social media mode. I need to make sure I'm posting on all of my channels. I need to make a fresh Instagram video. Now, it's very interesting. My Instagram video every single morning, very early on, it's actually a message that seems like I'm giving motivational or inspirational advice. It's actually a message where I'm speaking to myself. If you go on my Instagram and you look at it, I'm telling myself a message for the day. I'm telling myself to focus. I'm telling myself to be intentional. I'm telling myself to keep a positive attitude. All of these messages are something that I need to be consistent. I need to give this message, and I need to give myself a message of what I'm going to be intentional about of that day. But I do it every single day because I need to stay in a routine. My second video for the day is a video to my team. I want to tell them, what kind of day did we have yesterday? What were our wins? What were our challenges? What are the lessons that we learned? What this does is I know what progress did we make yesterday and what is our accountability of what we need to do today. What this does is, again, it holds me accountable to say, this is what I'm going to be focused on, and how are we collectively going to do this? My third video is a promo video. The promo video is trying to get new business. So for you, whether it's borrower facing, whether it's realtor facing, whether it's referral partner, whether it's community based, you should be in the routine that at all times you're reflecting on what happened yesterday, you're reflecting on what you're going to accomplish today, and you're looking for new business at all time. Remember, all of these things are about consistency. We must do it on a regular basis, because if we don't do it on a regular basis, it's very easy to just give up. It's very easy to skip a day. It's very easy to say, well, I didn't get results on what I did, so I guess it isn't working. No, what works is what we plant today. You may not see immediate results. We use that analogy all the time of working out. We're not necessarily going to build muscle or strength in 1 day or 2 days, or if we skip a week and come back to it. But I promise you, if you find that routine that works for you, remember, if you have small children as an example, maybe you want to stop working at a certain time, go have dinner, put the kids to bed, give them their baths, whatever that routine is, read them their stories, all of that. Come back on. It's great. You need to balance that, but you also need to know the work and the preparation that you put in to setting up that day and being organized in that routine of consistency are going to plant the seeds to your success, not for 25. 25 is happening. In a blink, it'll be here. 25 is the start of it. This routine, these habits, this consistency, this will take you all the way to 2030. This is a plan that is going to take you way beyond just 2025. These are habits that once you do them, you'll never be able to go away from them. So we start the day by setting 2 to 3 key priorities that tie to those values. These are the activities that are going to make the biggest impact towards those long-term goals. When you're making those sales calls, when you're making those meetings, when you're making those emails. Now, we all need to be realistic. We are not speaking about conquering the world in 1 day, but focusing on impactful activities will prevent you from getting lost in that noise and distraction. I want you to have fun with it. Personally, I love theme days. Theme days to me are fun and it keeps me engaged. I'll give you an example. Monday for me is all about motivation. So I send motivational quotes and inspiration to prospective clients, to past clients, to people in my network, people that I want to stay connected to. It's a great way to start the week. So when I'm trying to do a sales call or I'm trying to inspire someone and keep them connected to me, I give them that little bit of jolt on a Monday. Now, Tuesday for me is all about following up. going through past clients, going through following up. Okay, we said we're going to make this progress. We put this on the calendar of something we wanted to work towards. This is a problem we are working on, and I think we have the solution, but I'm following up to make sure that your problem is solved. Tuesday for me is follow-up day. Wednesday is Wednesday wisdom. This is where I tie it in to teaching or to learning. This is a great day for webinars. This is a great day for reaching out to your referral partners to teach them about VA loans or teach them about manufactured housing. Teach them about something that they're not really experts in. Teach a class about how to do video, how to do marketing. Teach first-time home buyers. Use Wednesday. And again, these are my examples. You can have your own theme days, but having consistency in what you do in these will make you rememberable, will make you remarkable, will make it so that people will know, oh, today is Wednesday. Today, I'm going to learn something from Laura Brandao. Today is something where I'm going to get a tip. I'm going to get some insight that will help my business or will help me as a borrower or a family looking to do a transaction with you. Or maybe I'm thinking about it and I just don't know where to start. Wednesday is a great day for teaching. Now, for me, also, Thursday is Thrive Thursday. That is all about sales. That is all about networking. That is all about growing my network, meeting new people. Never, never, never underestimate the power of one more. Ed Milet's book, I love that book of one more person in my network, one more phone call, one more email, one more text message, one more. Thursday is about connecting to as many people as possible. Go into your database, go into your social media, go into your community, go shake hands with all the local business owners, go meet as many people as possible, because Thursday is for thriving, all about sales and networking. And for me, Friday is Fridays. It's providing updates and strategies. Now, for me, breaking down each day in my brain, automatically I know how to prepare. You want to tie in those themes into everything that you personally do as a loan officer. Tie it into networking, social media, following up, education, open houses, face-to-face opportunities, and growing your community as a mortgage professional. Now, the next step in that is breaking it down into actionable tasks. You have your key priorities. You have your themes. Break them down into smaller, manageable tasks. If one of your goals is to enhance your leadership skills, for example, make an actionable task of maybe spending 15 minutes a day with a leadership book, or scheduling a mentoring session, or watching some YouTube videos. That's just an example of something that I want to get better at, something I want to improve, something I want to challenge myself. Make them bite-sized. Don't try to take on everything at once. Today and tomorrow, you're going to be given so much information. Take a couple of notes. Start with something small, little tiny actionable tasks. They should be clear, they should be specific, and they should allow you to measure your progress and your success. So with that, you then want to tie it all into that calendar. Remember what I said, live and die by that calendar. Every lunch appointment, every time you go out to meet that local community, block off the calendar. Make it so that you are doing everything there. The doctor's appointment, the family, everything you do is tied to that, because if you don't tie it there, you're not able to see the progress. You're not able to go, wow, this is how much I was able to squeeze in. Remember what I said, feeling like you're running out of time. When you feel like you're running out of time, you're going to condense you're going to be productive, and you're going to make sure you squeeze every single day into the most. And one of the most effective strategies that I have found, of course, is that time blocking. This means scheduling those blocks of time dedicated to those specific activities. Remember, if you're going to make calls, if you're going to do email campaigns, if you're going to go on Facebook Live, you're going to go on Instagram Live and do a educational session, block it off, put it on there. Remember, your prep time also needs to be on there. If you're prepping the night before, put it on the calendar. If you're like me, you're prepping early in the morning, put it on the calendar. Have all of that locked in because it will keep you consistent. Now, why is it so important? It keeps you focused. It minimizes your distractions. Each block of time is reserved for a specific purpose. Working on a project, sales and marketing, spending time with your family. And remember, those problems, those fires are going to come up sometimes. You're going to have problems. You need to also block out certain amount of time where you are doing that. Now, let's say there aren't any fires that day. Congratulations. You could just move up that prep time into there. Maybe you're building out a new strategy for marketing during that time. Maybe you're working with a team member to say, hey, what? I need to delegate something I'm working on. So I'm going to train you so we can level you up so that as maybe my LOA, I'm going to teach you another thing so that I can spend more time prospecting, more time building relationships, more time planting those seeds because you're the influencer. You are influencing your entire sphere, whatever that sphere looks like. You're going to grow it. You're going to become known in that network. You are absolutely micro famous. And then you want to align your activities to your purpose. Now that you set your goals, you created your time blocks for each day. Now I want to tie it to your purpose. It's not enough to be busy. In the mortgage industry, I promise you, we all can say that we're busy. We all can say we're every day, I don't know where the time went. But how do we make sure it's purposely productive? How do we make sure that everything aligns to the bigger vision of what we want for our future? Well, I want to take you back to my story of coming into the mortgage industry. I was a young mom, 19 years old. Me and my husband had no idea how we were going to support a family. So you know what we did? I stayed home during the day. My husband worked 2 jobs, which included delivering newspapers back in the day, which meant he had to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, go deliver newspapers, come home, take a shower, go work a job from 8 to 4, come back, hand the baby over to him so that I can go and telemarket homeowners to try to convince them to lower their interest rates. Guess what? There wasn't a choice. There was no choice at any point of him not getting out of bed, going to deliver newspapers, me not trying to sell each and every person to convince them to lower their rate so that I could buy formula and I can make car payments and I can make sure that rent was paid. See, when you're in that stage, there is no option of distraction. There is no option of not preparing and making sure that you're hitting those targets. But you know what happens over time? Over time, we get a little comfortable. Over time, maybe we don't have to work as hard in order to hit the thermostat that we're comfortable on. So many times as we progress in our career, the thermostat, it gets to a comfortable setting, which means that maybe I don't have to grind as hard. Maybe I don't have to work as hard to build out that network. I want you to remember there's always more. There is always more of the next generation that you're preparing for. There's always more for where bigger that you can accomplish in your community. I mentioned to you all of the different things I'm involved in the mortgage industry right now. I never would have dreamed of being part of technology companies and things that are innovating, that'll be changing all of our lives in the mortgage industry. I never saw that. I always worked in the day-to-day of mortgage and love it. And I still to this day love it and am helping lots of companies do it. But see, your vision has to get bigger. It's not just what you're doing now and growing and looking forward to 2025. It's what's that bigger impact. Yes, you want to grow your sales. Yes, you want to expand your reach, but there's even more. The work that you guys are doing as mortgage professionals, you're changing lives. You're making a difference. You're educating. You're pulling people forward into generational wealth where they're going to look back and they're going to say, if I didn't have the help of that mortgage professional, I never would be living this dream of building equity and building generational wealth to be passed down. You guys are making that difference, but you can't get comfortable. Some things are going to be uncomfortable, and you want to keep challenging yourself to do that. You want to tie your activity to the next phase. Work on today, continue to grow that business, but challenge yourself to do more. And that more is impact. That more is something that maybe you can't even envision at this moment in time. Every activity you engage in should have a purpose that connects to that bigger picture. For example, if you're a mortgage loan officer, answering client emails, it isn't just busy work. It's a task tied to building a relationship of trust. When you connect the dots between the daily activities and your long-term goals, you start to see the value in every single thing that you do. Every activity ties to a bigger picture. When I started telemarketing in the call center, everyone in the call center was miserable. They were depressed, not me, because my mission was to brighten the day of the other person that picked up that phone. I thought to myself, if I can make them smile, if I can bring my energy to the telephone and I can make that person feel good, then I won. It wasn't always about them saying yes to me. It was about me having a bigger picture that if I can make them happy, something good would come of it. And then 5 months later, I was promoted. And then I got into the industry and became a chief operations officer with only a few years after that. I didn't go into it as I'm just calling people to try to get them to say yes to me. I was calling them with a bigger mission. I was calling them to make them feel special because everyone has something going on behind the scenes. Whether it's a struggle financially, whether it's a health concern, whether it's a problem they're dealing with, no one knows what else is going on. You have the ability to make a change in every single person you're speaking to, every person you're connecting to. The power of what we do on a daily basis is life-changing. It is not temporary. So now I want to go back to our activity. Remember, every action has a reaction. How does this activity right now move me closer to my goals? And if it doesn't, you might not want to put it on the schedule because every minute has to tie into that. One of the biggest challenges you see sometimes is that balancing of personal and professional life. Here's the secret. You can achieve more balance by aligning your activities with your values. If spending time with family and focusing in on personal health is important, then prioritize it. When you schedule your day, ensure you're making time for activities that feed both of those things. For me, it's a walk with my husband every single night after work. That's a non-negotiable. That's a time that we have a conversation. We speak about our days. We talk about what's going on. And then after, yeah, I jump back on. I go back to work. But you know what? I made time during that time. You have that ability. We spoke about consistency. As we start to wrap this up, guys, nothing works unless we keep doing it. If there is nothing else, pick 2 things that you want to roll into your schedule, stay true to them, stay consistent with them, and focus on those 2. If you can get past those two and it's easy, you're doing it every day, you feel good about it, maybe add a third one in there. You don't have to add 10 things. You don't have to come up with a theme for every single day of the week. If you're not going to stick to it, don't bother. If you can add one thing to that calendar that you're like, I'm going to prep that every Wednesday, I'm going to do this. Tuesday night, I'm open, I'm prepping. Wednesday, I'm going to stick to it. Then there you go. That's all we need you to take away and all I need you to do. Now, I want to speak about how you wrap it up at the end of your day. I need you, before you close out your day, whether you do it before you go to sleep, whether you do it as you close out your calendar for the day, I need you to reflect on how your day was. Did you accomplish what you set out to do? How do you feel during the day? Did you feel energized? Did you feel overwhelmed? Did you feel weighed down? Did you feel low energy? What were the distractions that completely threw you off course? We all know we need to be on social media. But when are we going on social media? Is it a distraction or is it an intentional period of time where you're interacting, you're posting, you're engaging, but it's not throwing you off of your main focus of working on your business? So, and does it lift you up or does it drain you? Because depending on that, you may need to move it into a different area. Every single thing that you're doing, you need to take notice of it. Don't just go through the day and go, man, I really feel awful. Well, why? What was it that happened? Was it someone called and screamed at you because you missed something or an underwriter asked for something? Okay. What can I do to get myself back in? How do I handle those approaches? How do I learn from what occurred so that the next time that happens, I have a better outcome? You have to go back to the day and reflect on it. Give it a score. Say on a scale of 1 to 5, where 5 is great and 1 was a rough day, you're not going to have all 5s. You're going to have some 1s in there. You're going to have some 3s in there. But if you can average somewhere in that 4 range, you are doing absolutely incredible. One of the best ways to track your progress and stay accountable is by giving that rating. Start with being very honest. Be open with yourself. Create that rating system and actually write it down. Because as you write it down, you can go back and you can see your progress. Also, don't forget to celebrate those wins. It's so easy to get caught up on this didn't go right, this was a negative, but I want you to take a moment and recognize those little tiny wins. And then from there, you can make an overall plan as to how to proceed with it. And guys, you got this. I want you to 100% realize that it's in your control. You can do this. And 2025 is going to be a year of being the best.
Awesome. I'm glad you chose to go first. You got me pumped up, ready to go for the day.
It all starts with us setting up the day, Mitch. So
absolutely.
Where it begins.
Michelle says she hopes you shares your calendar and platform that you use.
I use Calendly. I use Calendly.
Calendly? Okay.
Yeah, I love it. But in addition to that, Michelle, I use that where that link is everywhere. And I because I have multiple calendars, I use Google Calendar for everything to come together. So for example, even my family, we book, if we're going to go to Philadelphia for the weekend, it's on my calendar so we can all share. So have one place to where your family is in there, your clients are in there, your referral partners are in there. And what happens is, and this is really funny, like when I first started doing this, I would say, here's my link, book time. People no longer even say, hey, Laura, when are you available? They literally just use the link. They pop up on my calendar. And then I'm like, ooh, how great is that? This referral partner, I have a meeting with them tomorrow because they can do it on their time. So if at 1 o'clock in the morning, they want to book a meeting with me tomorrow morning, they go in, they book it. Guys, you show them, yeah, You show that, and you certainly can do it through Outlook too. So absolutely share it and show them you're there for them, but be true to it. Block off your time. If you're going to take the kids, somewhere, block that off. That way you're not stressed about it.
Awesome. Well, Laura, I really appreciate you joining us. As always, you're magnificent. If anybody has questions for Laura, she's easily accessible on her Calendly link or on social media. Give her a follow. So I appreciate you joining us, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you, Mitch.